75.
How did we go then?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot of things from the first 2 years, and the next year we had a very strong side, which was captained by Gary Ella, who was finished up being a Wallaby, went to local school, Matraville.
What a talent he was.
Great player. He would have had a rugby league career forever and ever, because a little bit different to his two twin older brothers.
Hang on a second. The two twin older brothers, you're talking about Mark and Glenn.
Mark and Glenn Ella.
Didn't you drop them from this? Didn't pick him in the 74 side?
We left them out. 74.
So your 74 side wins a comp undefeated,
and
you don't pick Mark Ella
or Glenn Ella.
And another bloke, I believe.
There was two others that went on to have pretty strong football careers. Was Phil Siegsworth and John Tobin, and so there was four very good players that didn't go through with this team that won the competition, but for different reasons. The two Ella boys were very involved in rugby union at Maddow High, and their coach there was Jeff Moles, who was the Australian schoolboy coach. So he sort of had them under lock and key a bit. Phil Siegsworth was a very good player, but he was playing in two competitions at that time, because he was an Erskineville boy. And John Tobin come to me probably 25 years later and said, "Do you remember me?" One night I was at the Coogee Bay, actually, and he come up with a bloke that I was coaching in an A-grade team. He was with Carl Christie, and he come up to me and he said, "Do you remember me?" And I thought, "Oh, here's trouble." And I said, "Yeah, I remember you, John." He put his hand out and we shook hands, and he said, "You left me out on SG ball squad." And I said, "Yeah, that's correct." He said, "I was legless, wasn't I?" A couple of years later, he was playing first grade with the Roosters, but at the time he even realised that he was an average player, but he just turned into a very good player. Yeah.
You might have spurred him on, mate. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Don't forget, yeah.
So getting
Michael Jordan missed out in the high school team, and anyway, that's another
getting
story.
back to this 75 seed, your captain was Ella.
Captain was Gary Ella the next year after his two twin brothers wouldn't come training for us.
I'm surprised he didn't turn up and say, "I'm not playing for this player."
Well, I don't know what happened. I think I did. I bumped into their school coach, Milesy, at a shopping centre, and he said, "Nigsy, you know me?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." He said, "I mucked you around a little bit last year with the two Ella boys," and he was putting training sessions on the same time as what I had mine on, and things were getting a bit cross-fired. But Gary the next year, I don't think, missed a training session, and he was the only one in that team. Most of them came from Waterloo, Mascot, Maroubra. He was the sole player from La Perouse, and I appointed him captain, and he done a mighty job. Yeah, very good defensive player, Gary.
You actually played Parramatta in the semi-final.
We played Parramatta in the semi-final, and they had the likes of Eric Groth, Steve Ella. Steve Ella actually captained Parramatta.
Zip, man.
And the two cousins, they marked up on each other, and Gary cut him in half this day. They were probably favourites to win the competition, and we went on and knocked them out, and we won it. Yeah.
Wow.
So he'd be up there, one of your better footballers, Gary Ella.
Yeah, if I was picking me best side, he'd be one of the centres.
Wow. Okay.
Who else do we have in this side that went on to play first grade?
Dennis Donahue was in that side.
Son of Dennis.
Yeah,
Dennis Jr.
Jr. Yeah, there wasn't a real lot of first graders. A lot of them went on to play grade at South. Mark Kane, Tony Studden, little halfback Jeffrey Smith. They were a good all-round team, and a good lot of young fellas, yeah. There was a bit of rivalry between Mascot and Maroubra at the time, and the juniors used to always send the rep sides away for some small trip. One side each year would get the big trip. So if it was the President's Cup one year, the next year it would be the flag or the ball, and it would rotate. But every side would get a weekend away, and I said to my selectors, because there was a bit of friction between Mascot and Maroubra players, and there was about 6 or 7 from either side, made up the base of our 20 squad. And I said it'd be a good idea to send them up to Univase for the weekend. Arrive on a Friday afternoon, there was tennis courts up there and 9-hole golf course, and I thought that'd give them to mix in well together. Well, they got on so well up there, they didn't want to come home. And I won't mention any names, but we went up on an old bus, and it went about that somebody sabotaged the bus and we couldn't leave. Old Darcy Lawler said, "Don't worry about the bus. They're coming home anyway." Late on the Sunday afternoon, we had 3 days up there. He booked all taxis. They taxied them all home back to the junior. So the bus trick didn't work for them anyway. I know who they were, but I won't name them.
No, of course not.
So you've missed the semis first year and you go bang, bang, win the comp back to back, back to back.
Yeah, missed the first year of the semis, and then we won the next 3. We won 75,